welcome to Secondhand Blasters. This is Normatico here, and today we are going all the way to Hong Kong, yes, China, and we are going to visit the Worker Hurricane Limited Edition. The Worker Hurricane, of course, this is a very small flywheel blaster. It uses mini flywheels, and Worker Mod, they are known for providing quality modification products for Nerf blasters. The box itself, it's pretty decent, You can actually see the blaster through the box itself, and it does say delicate blaster with ultra practicability. So delicate. We'll see how delicate this blaster is. It is a 3D printed blaster, and it is made to be modified. Now we're gonna actually go ahead and switch views and open up this box and see just what comes packaged in here. Okay, so inside this box, let's see what we have here. Got the little mold here. We have, well, it's a little flyer telling you about the Hurricane Blaster and that it is a limited edition when it was released on January 1st, 2020. So, yeah. The limited transparent red edition with signature of one of the founders and designer of Worker, up to 1,000 units available worldwide. So I would like to know which one this is. I know that Drac on his channel, I believe, got number 1. So let's take a look here. Of course, the instructions. This is a lot of instructions for a little blaster. And yeah, we will take a look at these later on. Oh, it teaches you how to mod the blaster. Okay, that's kind of cool. That's really neat. And it even tells you what 3S. Okay, that's cool. All right, they want you to modify this blaster. That's neat. I like this. I'm excited. The patch. I get a patch. That's kind of fun. Oh, there it is, the number. I can see it now. Number, I think I see the number here. What is that number? What? Number 4. Oh, so close. So close. It's number 402. I was hoping for number 420 for grins and giggles, but I got 402. Close enough. No, actually, no, that's not 402. Maybe? Oh, that's even better. So, small thing about me, I was actually raised in area code 407, which is the Central Florida area code, and mine is number 407, even better. You can barely read it there, but it is there. That is a 407 there that is etched into it. I am super excited. Even better than 420 or 069. Is my old area code that I grew up with. That's awesome. I'm so excited with this. And then, of course, the blaster itself. Now, the blaster itself, the magazine, you actually just pull that off. It is a magazine that is a rotating barrel. And you actually load up standard darts here one at a time. One, and then you rotate. And then you load up another one. And then you rotate again. And then you keep on rotating until it is all full. And it automatically adjusts itself. That's pretty neat. You actually just load that back up, and there you go. The battery case is right here. It is designed that you can run it on 2 AA batteries. From what I've read about these blasters, the 2 AA batteries do not work very well. So you are actually going to want to go ahead and use some of these. These are the 3.7 volts, the 14500 batteries that I always recommend. These are the 800 amp ones. So yeah, we will see how this performs with those. I know that I saw on Drac's channel when he actually did his, he used regular alkaline batteries, and it was like he was so excited and it just went, that's it. But we're going to actually see how far these can go with the 3.7 volt batteries. And we're going to also hook it up to my brand new chronograph. I'm so excited because if you follow my channel at all, right around now is when I had posted that my chronograph had gone to heck, but I just replaced it with the new Caldwell, so I'm excited to test that one out and see how it works out. So batteries go in here, and that is that. This is a pretty simple blaster. They say it's delicate. It's obviously 3D printed. You do have the screws here. Looks like you have the 3 on the actual handle itself. Let's see, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 screws is all you need to actually take apart this blaster. That's kind of cool. Now, the rev trigger and the trigger itself are all in one. So let's go ahead and turn this thing on. You do have an on and off switch here. And I guess that's a lock. So you gently pull down on the trigger to rev the motors up, and then that actually pushes the darts through. That is pretty neat. I like the way this is set up. This is really cool. And it looks like it's got an advanced switch already there for upgrading. So that switch should handle a 3S or a 2S LiPo. That's kind of awesome. And it's a reverse switch. So it is, okay, they must have it always on, and then pushing the actual switch down, which is what this little bar does, that is what turns it off. So when you leave it on, you have that's the backup. Yep, that is how that works. So it is always on, and pressing that the actual switch part down is what turns the motor off. So that's kind of neat. And yep, there's my number on my blaster, 407, and it is signed right there. It is really hard to tell, but yeah, it is there, number 407. That is cool. I like this. This was meant to be for me. That's fantastic. Now, let's go ahead and talk about this blaster more. Okay, so I want to actually go ahead and talk about this little magazine here. This magazine that's also a part of the shell. It's a revolving barrel. It's a revolving magazine is what it is. And this is actually pretty cool, I'm not going to lie. The way it works is that you actually load the dart in through here, and then you actually have to start to rotate. Rotate 1, load, rotate, load, and you repeat. So it actually does hold 6 darts, much like most of the other Nerf branded revolvers. And that's it, which means I'm sure that somebody out in the modding community is going to find a way to make one of these that holds 7 or 8 darts, but that is a pretty tight fit in there. So if they can do that, I wonder how they're going to do that, to be honest with you. Now, once those darts are loaded in there, that rotating barrel does not rotate anymore. You'll see that. It's kind of hard to rotate it. You actually just use this little cylinder back here to rotate it. So it is fully loaded. Worker does sell additional ones of these that you can actually buy off their website. I might pick up another one, maybe not necessarily in the red. I might buy it in white. And I also know that they do buy an extension for this for the 3S LiPo upgrade. That way you don't have to worry about if you have a LiPo battery that is much bigger than the handle. It's cool. It's going to fit in that because it just slides in there, and it's an extended handle where you can actually fit a much fatter LiPo battery inside of there. So in addition to the additional, I guess, magazines, revolving magazines, they actually do sell the upgrade kits for this. They sell what is called the Category 5 Hurricane Upgrade Kit. That is a dual stage cage where you can go ahead and actually make this thing shoot a lot faster. I'm assuming naturally that that one does require the 3S LiPo upgrade. I would not try to pretend to run 4 motors on just 7.6 volts, which is what this currently has in it. 7.6, 3.7 times 2, 7.6, sorry, 7.4. Math fail, math is hard. Anyways, but yeah, that kit itself is about $50. So when you actually do that, I have heard that you can get about 170 feet per second with this. But yeah, I want to put that to the test. You know, given what you can do with a dual stage kit and how much this normally costs. I have seen these as low as $25 on Worker's website. So you're looking at about $75 for a pro level blaster, which for something this small, this is amazing. So I look forward to doing that. I do have a couple of Loki motors that I might do a motor swap on those because they rev much higher, and I don't know what these motors rev at. So, but I doubt that it's 65,000 RPMs, which is what the Lokis get. If I do 4 of those, that should be quite a little beastly blaster. We'll see. Now, I'm going to go ahead and actually load this. And then up next, I'm going to be doing a chronograph test. I'm going to be doing a distance test. And you know what? I might also try an indoor accuracy test with this little thing because, I don't know. I got a good feeling about this blaster. They say it's delicate, but it feels pretty solid. Stay tuned for the chronograph test. So we are out at the parking lot range. We are at a different parking lot than normal, but I've already gotten out and measured the spots, so we'll be able to do an accurate measurement here. We are with the Worker Hurricane. This is the smallest flywheel blaster, honestly, that I've ever seen. And we're going to see just how far it can shoot. As you can see, based on the chrono readings, we were able to get up to 90 feet per second at some points. The average was somewhere in the 80s, so we're going to go ahead and actually toss this out there and see how far it can shoot. Currently, we only have 2 flywheels in here. We are running on 2 14500 3.7 volt batteries, so that's 7.6 volts. My plan eventually is to actually do what they call the Category 5 upgrade. I have a couple of Lokis that I'm going to go ahead and do as the 3rd and 4th motors in here, and we're going to actually do a dual stage later on, but that's going to have to wait for another video. So let's test out to see how this is stock. I can tell you that that's pretty impressive given how small this blaster is. We are actually going to do a quick dart recovery, and I'll tell you exactly how far this went. Well, that's pretty impressive because shooting into a headwind, which wasn't too strong, I'll admit, we got 72 feet for the straight shot and 98 feet for the angled shot out of this little tiny blaster. That is not bad at all. I did shoot one when I was actually at the furthest distance out so that I would have a tailwind, and that honestly hit over 100 feet. So I got to actually do that dart recovery now, and that way I can come back and give you my final thoughts regarding the Worker Hurricane. Okay, so we are now indoors for our indoor accuracy test. We're going to be aiming for that little basket behind me. Now, before I start, I actually want to go ahead and let you all know I had been saying that this is a 3D printed blaster. It turns out that there's a lot of different information regarding the Hurricane on the Worker website, and I may have gotten confused here because, again, sometimes the Worker website, the way they phrase things, it's a little bit weird. It is ABS plastic, which of course, yes, you can 3D print an ABS plastic. However, usually that is something that is molded. In this case, though, there are parts that are 3D printed and there are parts that are not 3D printed. So the blaster itself, I believe that this one actually might be manufactured in just a regular injection mold. It feels pretty sturdy enough. So, I mean, I don't know. It says delicate blaster, so that's where I was assuming 3D printing. But there are parts though that are 3D printed, such as the actual rotating magazine, and there are other parts as well. They do sell a really cool attachment that who knows, I might get it later on. That is an actual clip here, so you can actually put mini darts through here. So yeah, we'll see, or I should say half-length darts, and we'll see if I can do that later on in the future when I do the LiPo upgrade. I'm definitely going to be getting another one of these blasters. One, because I like the limited edition red. The other one, I'm probably going to get it in the white and go from there. I will tell you that if you order it from Worker, the limited edition is $49.99. I highly recommend going over to Luke's page at Out of Darts, where you can actually get it for $25. That is a significant discount. So, and it's the same blaster. But now we are actually going to do the accuracy test. I've went ahead and actually swapped out my Elite darts for 5 of the Diamond Ruby darts here, standard length, and I'm going to do 5 Elite darts as well. I usually do Elite darts for the distance test because in my experience, the Elite darts tend to actually fly farther than the Ruby darts, even though they don't fly as, how can I say, accurately? So we're going to actually do both sets, and that way we get 10 darts downrange and see how well it goes. Let's get it started. So the Ruby darts, there is one that actually went up. I will tell you that aiming with this is not the easiest because there is no actual iron sight. There's no real target reticule here. So you have to kind of guesstimate. It is very sci-fi-esque. It's kind of like using a phaser from Star Trek. So I'm not going to make excuses. My aim was not the greatest, but the blaster itself, it did shoot pretty straight. We're going to swap out the Elite darts now, and we're going to see just how well they perform. All right, so we have, I believe, 6 Elite 2.0 darts. These are not fresh darts. So we're going to see if they actually perform decent. I have no high hopes about hitting all 6, but we'll see. You never know. You know what they say about the sun shining on the back of a dog's hind every now and then. They're Elite darts. I got 2. 2 out of 6 ain't bad. That's horrible. You've heard me rant about Elite darts before, and I will just take the moment to rant again. Hasbro, you've been in the business longer than anybody. You created the Elite darts. Why? Why, almost 20 years later, do they still stink as bad as they do? But hey, it's pretty accurate with the rubies, so I'll take it. Up next, my final thoughts regarding the Hurricane Blaster. Okay, I'm back with my final thoughts regarding the Hurricane Blaster, but before I go ahead and start my final thoughts, I want to go ahead and address the elephant in the room. And no, I am not talking about my overly large self. I am talking about the background. Those of you who've been watching my videos will probably remember that my background wall, I've always had some blasters hanging up back there, but now you'll see that I actually have 2 pegboards instead of just the one horizontal one. That allows me to fit more blasters up there, and those blasters have changed. Almost every single one of those you have seen in some of my reviews. Those are my personal favorites. Those are my pride and joys. Those are the ones that I will not be giving away because of the fact that I just really love those blasters. However, as the channel evolves, that's going to be changing more often. You're going to see different blasters swapped in and out. There's a couple there that just do not belong. Almost every single one of them are what I would call a pro level blaster, except for, of course, the Sweet Revenge, the Hammer Shot that's there, and pretty much anything that is not Dart Zone and not Sita or Game Face. Sorry, Hasbro. There is a Strife X up there. I think it's up there somewhere anyways. But yeah, so I will be swapping those out as I address the newer blasters that come out and that I love and adore. Now, let's talk about the Worker Hurricane. First of all, I want to go ahead and actually apologize to everyone. This video has taken me a little bit longer to make. Those who did follow my channel, you will see or probably remember reading something that I put in the community page where I had a little bit of an incident, and I was unfortunately out of, how can I say it, out of full operating functions for a few days. But I'm back, and I wanted to finish this video as quickly as possible and get it out to you. So, the Hurricane itself, this is a fun blaster. I love this thing, it is fantastic. The accuracy with the Ruby darts, it is pretty darn good. The Elite darts, not so much, but that is because they're Elite darts, and like I said before, why Hasbro cannot make a good Elite dart, I do not know. But anyways, I digress. The performance on this with the 3.7s, it's fantastic. For such a small size, to be hitting a 94, we're going good. 86 average, that's not bad. And that average is dropped down by one shot that hit down to 73. So, you know what? I will take it. I like the fact that this has the serial number. That is something that is really neat. It actually adds more sentimental value. For me especially, because the number that I got, like I said, I know I sound like I'm excited over the simplest things, but 407 will always be home. I do live in Central Ohio now, but 407 will always be home. I remember my roots. The only thing that would have been better had it been a Puerto Rican area code. So, you know what? Whatever. I'll take it. But, yeah. Pretty cool. Here are the pros and the cons of the blaster. Pro. It is very concealable. So you can actually put this in your pocket. If you have a hoodie, or as I call the Midwest winter uniform, you slip that in your hoodie pocket and boom, you are ready to go. You can have your primary, you can have your secondary slung over you, and then this is your backup. Now some of you might be saying, hey, that's kind of large for a backup. I actually have a size comparison. Someone definitely argued that the Side Strike is a backup blaster. You only get the one shot, you have 2 reloads, and you know, this one is one that I've modified with a brass tube. Actually, it's one of the first ones that I modified with a brass tube, so it gets a decent, 110 FPS, but, whatever. Side Strike, Hurricane. The Side Strike has a larger profile. This one, of course, is a little bit chunkier in the front, or I should say thicker, but this has a holster, and they do make a holster for this as well. So this could easily be a backup, and you get these 6 rounds. I will tell you that if you get the modifications that I said about earlier, such as the one that allows you to put an actual magazine here, half dart magazine, that negates the entire primary, or I should say the backup blaster size. However, it would make a decent secondary as well at that point because you have more ammo to fire. So I definitely recommend picking this one up. Worker, $49.99. Out of darts, currently it is on sale for $25. I recommend hitting up Luke's page and picking one up of if you want the personalized version of it. Of course, if you want the standard version, it doesn't matter where you go. It's going to be the same price of $25. I will tell you that going directly from Worker, you have access to all of the modifications that they have for the Hurricane. Out of darts only carries a couple of things, such as the cage for the Category 5, and that's about it. And I believe they also carry the extra rotating magazines. They don't carry the extended LiPo, at least not that I saw, the extended LiPo attachment for the handle. So you make your decision how you want to purchase it. If you want it to get to you faster, obviously go to Out of Darts. If you want to wait for shipping from Hong Kong, then go to Worker. Whatever you do, it's up to you. I'm not here to push one site over another. Now, here are the cons on this blaster. you don't have a targeting sight. So targeting, you actually have to kind of guess, and you make sure you go and you fire. So depending on which eye is dominant, you have to actually just make sure that you focus on that and hope that you're going to hit what you're going to shoot at. Now, the other con that I see on this is that there is no actual place to attach any sort of sling. So you either put this in a pocket or you put it in a holster, and that is it. They do sell a holster for it. The holster is about as much as the blaster itself, so you make up your decision. I am sure that somebody in the 3D printing community has created something for this that is form-fitting, and if not, if you're really crafty, you could probably do that yourself, and you could probably just jerry-rig it from stuff that you have at home. Me personally, since it fits inside of my hoodie pocket, I'll put it in my hoodie pocket because, again, it's not that big of a blaster. So, and once you actually put it in there, the silhouette that it actually has in your hoodie, let me go ahead and stand up really quick. You hear it because you can hear the plastic jingling, but you don't really see it. So, there you go. Now, I do plan on getting the Cat 5, and like I said, I plan on putting in a couple of Lokis in here. Maybe do the dual stage, start off with the traditional worker motors, and then go to the Lokis to see if we can get the 170 or higher FPS. I think that would be really freaking cool, personally. I do have to come up with a name with it, though. A good Category 5 name. I don't know. I do not know. I'll have to figure that one out. I will say that this is definitely on my top 5 blasters that I have purchased in 2023. I know it's not a 2023 blaster, but it is one that I got in 2023, so this one ranks in the top 5 out of all of the categories. Speaking of top 5s and 2023, as of me recording this, it is about to be Halloween, which means it is time to start compiling some top list of the year. I actually want to invite you all to go ahead and comment what you think are the best 5 blasters that have come out from each brand this year. I know that some of them haven't had 5 blasters, and that's okay. If you can only think of the top 5 blasters that you've seen come out that have hit the store shelves, and I'm not necessarily talking about pro blasters, go ahead and actually leave a comment here, and I will see if I can actually do a review, and I'll compare how that works against mine. I want to start conversations with my viewers because that's what this is about. This is about having fun, and it's about expanding the sport. So, up next, I'm going to be doing a top 5 of my favorite Hasbro blasters, and then probably a mixed bag of all the other ones. So, keep on watching Secondhand Blasters. Until next time, keep on blasting!